This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 444, recorded the day before American Thanksgiving 2015. I am Brian Kilby, and with me on the show this week, all in video, if you're watching the video, that is, we have Matt, Don, Chris, and Diecast. Guys,
you know, even if you're just listening to the audio, we are still all on video.
This is true.
Yeah, in living color.
Well, most of us, anyway.
Do what you want to do, or in living color.
Well, I was thinking the old NBC Peacock when like for Star Trek, when the Peacock would fan out the feathers and say "in living color."
Dun, dun,
you know
dun.
that Peacock must have been really boring before they started doing color broadcasts.
You know, it's probably true.
Did they have it before? I guess they did.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Okay, so
Don would be the only one here who could answer that question for us.
I was born in '70, so I kicked it.
You missed the '60s. That's awesome.
I caught most of it in reruns
by 6 whole months. He missed the '60s.
I hit the '70s by 6 whole months. So
I mean, thanks to Nick at Night in the late '80s, I caught most of the '50s and early '60s in reruns. So
I mean, I got to see Bewitched and My Favorite Martian. So
my favorite show growing up was My Three Sons.
I like that.
I'm joking. It wasn't my favorite show, but I was exposed to a lot of crappy 50s TV because of Nick at Night.
But the good thing is
F Troop was awesome.
Gunsmoke. I was Gunsmoke.
I liked. Yeah.
The problem with Gunsmoke is it's always been too oversaturated in syndication.
Yeah. Wild Wild West is one of my guilty pleasures. I love it. I love Wild Wild West.
The Will Smith movie.
Go to hell.
Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the show. So on the show this week, we have stuff, including our favorite segment, This Week in History, news, etc., 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 etc. So starting off, new stuff. I'm going to start off this week because I got a crap ton. I got Nightbird, Black Arachnia, Slipstream. I also got Sphinx, Spartan, Masterpiece Tracks, Legends Ultra Magnus, the release of Rumble and Frenzy. And I got the metallic version of the Encore 6-shot. And I actually think I got a couple other things, but I can't think of what they are. So, I just want to give a couple of comments. I know we talked about the stuff last week. Sphinx is amazingly solid. I am incredibly impressed by the engineering and the likeness, and it's a pretty fantastic toy. Moving on to Sphinx. What?
Have you broken it yet?
No, of course not. He's really sturdy.
That was Spartan you were holding up. You said Sphinx, but
I know. I said moving on to Sphinx. Oh, sorry.
No. You introduced that as Sphinx.
I'm sorry. Well, Spartan. Moving on to Sphinx. Yes, Spartan is right here.
I'm sorry. I knew what you meant, but someone else was gonna get confused or comment.
Very true. Thank you. Moving on to Sphinx. So I was fiddling with Sphinx last week, and I sent Diecast a text. And I'm like, man, Sphinx sucks.
And I immediately said, what are you talking about?
So the next day, I was fiddling with Masterpiece Tracks, and I sent Diecast a text that said, man, Sphinx really isn't so bad. So take that for what you will. Matt, what do you think about Tracks?
Well, I also got Masterpiece Disappointment.
Then.
I like him well enough, but he's got some major problems. Have you broken yours yet, Brian?
No.
Because I'm very close, actually.
Oh, I was so worried that I was going to, and with the backpack.
I am mildly terrified to transform him.
Oh yeah, I am too. I totally get it.
Because mine, at the very least, the legs. It comes in car mode. The legs would not come apart, and I pulled and pulled and pulled, and I have horrible stress marks on the peg that locks them together now.
Oh wow!
I don't.
I actually cannot flip the chest plate because there is no nub on the one side. So if I try to turn it, the chest plate falls out.
That's horrible.
Okay, I don't have that problem. But I was so worried about transforming it, though, that I actually watched someone's review. And I don't tend to watch YouTube reviews. They're just not my thing. So sorry, Diecast. I'm
You can apologize to me too.
Yeah, sorry, Chris. But I actually had to watch someone's review to make sure that I was doing it right.
Well, so he does have ratcheted knees too, but there's a lot of play in between the
mine
the clicks.
So mine
Like, a lot.
So I have none of those QC issues. The ratchet on mine's fine. It's solid. I don't have any of that problem. I just don't like it. The backpack is flimsy. The transformation, the missile launcher things on the back, that didn't necessarily make a lot of sense. The backpack again isn't very solid. It locks into place, and I don't trust that it's locked in place correctly. He is just not very good.
No.
Go ahead.
I haven't opened up mine yet, but from everything I've been hearing, this time last year we would have not have had these complaints about Masterpiece Toys.
True, and I want to say
they
this.
were being designed by a different primary designer last year, though.
And I really wish that person would come back.
So I was having I was having a conversation with John.
I miss you, Shogo. Come back, please.
I was having a conversation with John DeLuna this weekend, and an interesting point came up. And you know me, I've been known as like Mr. Anti-third party guy for the longest time. Whatever. I'll say this: Sphinx and Trax, U.S. retail about the same. The level of quality between the two, the third-party toy, I would say is substantially nicer than the first-party Masterpiece toy. That shouldn't happen, but it did, and that makes me really sad. And it's really interesting that, again, about the same price. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, my Trax will probably never see Corvette mode again out of fear.
What you do, buy a Road Rage and leave that in Corvette mode all the time, and then, you know.
I actually have a Road Rage on pre-order, and I just might do that, so.
Yeah.
Of course, it's being Road Rage, it will, run all your other toys down if you leave it in car mode, but these are the sacrifices you must make.
Okay, so moving.
Also, Raul is just a little statue now. No articulation whatsoever.
Yeah, forgot about that. It's crap.
Well,
wait, was he originally going to have articulation?
No, but like compared to Spike and Daniel.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so moving along. So we have this week in history. In 2002, the Spy Changer versions of the 2001 Robots in Disguise Optimus Prime, Ultra Magnus, X-Bron, and Scourge are released in Japan as USA editions. I just wanted to mention this because I love those toys, and I miss them. I miss having things like Spy Changers and such. I'm not a big fan of the more recent Minicons, so Legends toys are cool, and Spy Changers are effectively Legends toys, I guess. But yeah, I just really miss those, and just wanted to share just something from the heart. I love you, Spy Changers.
It's funny, too, because Spy Changer Scourge was actually the first availability of the character in the U.S. toy line.
So he came out before. Was it a Toys R Us exclusive?
It was, yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was an exclusive or not. Yeah. So that came out. That came out first, huh? I thought I didn't realize that was first.
I don't think Scourge even came out until 2002, the full size one.
I don't remember. I already had Black Convoy, so.
Yeah, but Scourge is better.
The paint job.
Yeah, color choices, the design of the stickers is a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't. Again, not having it. I don't remember.
Also, it was like significantly cheaper, even being a Toys R Us exclusive. I think it actually went for like $30.
Was it that cheap?
I think so.
Wow, that's surprising.
Well, remember, the big Optimus and Magnus were also $30 toys each.
But Toys R Us.
Toys R Us was different back then, though.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and jump to the news. And I want to point this out. Starting last week, we do have shortcuts to the show notes because people don't always go to the website to get the podcast. In fact, most of you don't. Shame on you. So go to tfradio.net/444. tfradio.net/444 to get the show notes from this week's episode. That way you can follow along with the news and such that we have. Okay, so this week, none of us have read it yet. I don't think Matt's read it.
No.
But Sins of the Wreckers #1 came out, and there is, of course, a review at tformers.com that Rob, who is not on this week, wrote. So read the comic and then go check that out. That's just a public service announcement. Okay, so I just noticed this today. I don't know if it was reported before, but Transformers Devastation, the price dropped down to like $30 on Amazon, which is pretty crazy. So if you want that...
To hear some people tell it, that's about what the game is worth.
Well, yeah, I'll go that far.
It's not a bad price.
But yeah, $30. So if you want it, tfradio.net/tfgame. Just getting that out there. Okay. Also, if you're a Steam user, several Transformers games are available, including Devastation. I think Devastation's $32, but you can also get a pack that includes Fall of Cybertron and all of the expansions available for that, with Rise of the Dark Spark also for like $32. So I would probably say that would be worth it, probably more than Devastation, but. And
just don't play Rise of the Dark Spark.
Yeah, and War for Cybertron is
anyone ever.
Yeah, War for Cybertron is $5, and if you just want Fall of Cybertron, it's $13. Okay, so BotCon announces the next Beast Wars cast member to guest at BotCon 2016, and it's Scott McNeil. Which
to the surprise of no one.
Yeah, but it makes me happy because Scott McNeil was one of my favorite guests from BotCon.
His 7th BotCon appearance.
Yeah, he's fun. He's a fun dude.
Yeah, it's sort of like when you see him in panels, you just never quite know what's going to happen. So you just sort of have to watch, like, because you just never know what he's going to do.
Yeah, he's kind of crazy in a good way. We got footage from BotCon 2012, I think, of his karaoke performance from that night. So that's the thing I really enjoy about going to BotCon, though. Especially like when it's at a resort or something. You tend to be able to find all of the guests and stuff, basically just having fun in, sometimes a public setting like karaoke. And it was just really fun to witness stuff like that. Let's see here, Don. If you had a lot of experience, or you probably like doing room to room trading instead of like hanging out with guests and such in the past.
Well, in my defense, a lot of the guests are usually in the bars or the hotel lobbies, and I'm not a social drinker. I know you don't have to be in those situations. But also the fact that I'm not real comfortable in real crowded, noisy environments.
Like a BotCon dealer room.
Well,
to the best of my understanding, at the bar at BotCon, you either have to be drinking or eating White Castle.
Yeah, and it's just... and since I don't care for White Castle at all, there's that. I lose that out. But it's just...
Well, usually, to be fair, you pretty much have to drink in order to eat White Castle, so...
It's not true!
Well, no, you could also be high.
It's just usually when they're in there sharing their stories, it's usually in an environment that I don't feel comfortable with, so it's not something I usually do. So that's just me.
I don't drink at all, but I love going to bars and hanging out with people. I just do. It's fun.
I don't feel comfortable around drunk people because
I don't.
around me.
Entertaining.
I had to live with one for a year in college, so.
But I would say this. Don. I can't remember ever really seeing drunk people at bars because once they're drunk, they leave.
You guys hung out with me at BotCon.
Yeah, but that
was by default, not by choice.
That was because you were hanging out with people who don't drink, who gave you their free drink certificates.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, Don, it's probably worthwhile visiting the hotel bar when you're at BotCon. You're not going to be around drunks.
I might this year just with Scott McNeil being there, because with the ease at which he switches between his voices, you have no idea who's going to come out of his mouth. As far as it's basically like guess that character.
I am not going to comment. So, but I think Chris knows where I'm going.
Yeah, the look on Chris's face said it all.
Okay, so so voting is over, but as reported during last week's RFC Extra, the vote for the next Titan Return character was up at BotCon, at Transformers Facebook page. And do we have an idea when...
I'm not on Facebook, so I did not vote, but I did scroll down through, and I saw a lot of votes for Trypticon.
That's what I chose.
I didn't actually get around to voting because I didn't realize the deadline was so soon.
Really like all three, to be honest.
Me too.
Well, I'll say right here, I voted for Omega, because we've got Platinum Trypticon out, and we got
it's a G1 toy, Don. We need a new
we all know Paladin just pressured Don until he agreed to vote along with him.
Which is why I wouldn't have voted for Omega Supreme, just to keep Paladin frustrated.
No, Paladin had nothing.
Okay, now that is a benefit, but I thought there was a more legitimate reason to go with Trypticon, which is that if they do it the same way they're doing Fortress Maximus, you will wind up with a Trypticon that comes with a deluxe robot that turns into a dinosaur's head.
That would be awesome.
And I have chosen to call this idea Sorebros.
Sorebros. I like that.
No, it's just of those characters. We had Scorponok with the BotCon set, and we got Platinum Trypticon out. We haven't had anything new for Omega since Omega Super Sentinel and Omega.
But Scorponok was not readily available.
Don, you're wrong.
He was
okay. All right, fine, whatever. I want Omega. You don't want him. Screw you.
No, I really want all of them, and to be honest, I was going back and forth between Omega but I have the new Omega Supreme that we got with
Platinum.
Yeah. Well, see,
just a fine toy.
Well, see,
exactly.
This is why I want Omega. This is why I want an Omega.
Yeah, I understand that.
Because together on a shelf, Titan Omega and Titan Devastator would be awesome, and they could fight each other.
So would Titan Metroplex and Titan Trypticon, or
exactly.
Fortress Maximus and Titan Scorponok. That's why they were our three choices. I want another Decepticon because we've already got Metroplex and Fort Max coming.
Yeah.
So we'll have two, and
Devastator.
Two Decepticons would be nice. And I want Paladin to suffer.
And Devastator doesn't. I mean, I know he's a Titan, but he kind of doesn't feel like one because he's a combiner, if that makes any sense.
It's a little off. I couldn't remember how large Energon Omega Supreme was, and I just looked on my shelf, and he is way smaller than I remembered, so Don is exactly right. It would be nice to have something that would compete with, Devastator. And that's not Omega Supreme.
I've got a feeling that no matter who wins,
we all lose.
Trypticon.
We all win.
No, we all win. I'm saying that I got a feeling these are the three next big ones anyway. They're just trying to judge to see.
I would be happy with that.
But I got a feeling over the next 3 to 5 years, I think we're going to see all of these without any problem. Yes,
please be. Please. I want all three, but I mean,
I want all three characters, but I want them to do a Scorponok that stands, equal to Powermaster Optimus, as it should be.
Yeah. Okay. I get it, but
and
we're getting city size Fortress Maximus, so we'll get city size Scorponok as well.
Now he jumped up in my lap. I did not coax him. This is all.
Also, you pretty much have to do them Titan scale because if they want to keep that scale going, there are very few figures that they can use.
I would challenge that. They can always take a character that's like normal size and just scale it up really big, just like they do John Cena and Darth Vader.
The thing is, too, assuming one Titan a year.
That's a big assumption.
But even with just a few characters available, do you think that's a big assumption as in too frequent, or that you think they'll do more than that?
Even though the name is Titan's Return, I have a hard time believing that they're going to do that many. But I was just making a joke about those gigantic frickin' John Cena figures and the Darth Vader, but they could potentially do something like that, like one of the big, make it like a big shampoo bottle transformer. Yeah. That would be awesome. I would love that.
Well, now there's two things I'm thinking. This whole Titans Returns, and I think I mentioned this before. We're not talking about just Titans as far as a size class. We're talking about characters with a lot that are Titans of the line.
That's
Bumblebee.
I'm just saying, you know, you could look at this. You could look at Titans being that way of, you know, major figureheads from the past returning. Also, if they do an Omega, then we could get a Blue Guardian robot recolor at some point as well.
Like we got that Metro Titan.
Yeah. No, but no, like even better, if Kilby thinks one a year is too frequent, it doesn't matter if there's only a few characters that would fit as being toys that big, because it would take them a long time to actually burn through all the obvious choices anyway.
Yeah, that's why we're going to get Scorponok in that size, because he's one of the few that size actually fits.
Unless you go by the comic.
Yeah, I mean,
but they're obviously not, because we're getting City Fortress Maximus.
Unless they're just going by the comic in that time. Never mind. Okay.
I feel like I should be, you know, slamming. You know, I'll get you next time, Gadget.
I'm thinking, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. That's what I'm thinking. Don has Massey on his lap, and he is petting him.
Oh, no! He's waiting for tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, tomorrow is the correct, appropriate time to attack.
For Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Is that Cat Attack Day?
He'll never expect it that day.
Yeah, but Don's not going to be home most of the day tomorrow.
Yeah, I have a 12-hour. I have a 12-hour. I have a 12-hour day tomorrow. So
I've got to work Friday, but not tomorrow. I'm sorry, Don.
I don't have to work tomorrow or Friday.
You have to work Friday.
Yeah, neither do I.
Staples, yeah. But...
Okay.
No, I'm off till Monday. So
jealous. Okay.
I hate you all.
So, speaking of people that I hate, supposedly someone has Sky Lynx in hand, and I want it.
Soon.
I can wait. That's not. I mean,
I want to see more of it.
Yeah.
It totally.
All
if
we've
it would
seen
have
is shuttle
split,
mode so far.
Yeah, if it would have split into two, I'd be like, give it to me now. But just because it doesn't do that, I'm kind of like, I want it.
When you get it, send it to Kilby, and he'll break it, and then he can send it back to you.
Very good. I like it. Mm-hmm. I hardly ever split Sky Lynx up anyway. It's not like a big deal to me. It'd be nice to have a Lynx mode, I guess, but I'm fine with this. It's Sky Lynx, for God's sake.
Okay, now I seem to recall them implying at BotCon that they realized you could fan mode a Lynx mode out of the toy.
Yeah.
Like, it was not going to be an official selling point, but they were talking about... They realized there's a way to turn the toy around to make it look like it has the Lynx mode.
But it's still not going to separate. It's one or the other.
Yeah. No, would the shuttle be underneath at that point?
Yes.
Probably.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Mm. You know, but the interesting thing is, you know, it'd be really kind of cool because you can also have like a throwback homage, because when you have Sky Lynx as the torso mode and everybody connects to them, it'd be a Power Lynx.
Oh, God. Okay, so real quick, Charles in Chaos tweeted at us, what about Masterpiece, or not a Masterpiece, Titan Class Unicron? That's another character that we could potentially get again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just as likely as Omega Supreme again.
Yep.
Okay, so we have photos of Kinder Eggs, Robots in Disguise toys coming up. I really want them, but Kinder Eggs are not available in the U.S., so I guess I would have to get these from Germany. Canada? Okay.
Canada has them. I don't know if they'll have these specifically, but they do have Kinder Eggs in Canada.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Kinder Eggs are like these little chocolate shell egg things that have toys inside, and apparently they're dangerous.
Yeah, just the U.S. will not allow them to be sold here because it's food with non-food items inside of it.
Yeah. So, yeah. You can't get it. But here they are if you're watching the video.
And they will try to confiscate them at the border if they find you carrying them.
I know, and it sucks. I've heard that.
Really?
Yeah. I really want that Grimlock.
It's so weird. You used to get toys and cereal and Cracker Jacks.
That's the other way around, though.
Well,
yes,
and besides,
they weren't molded into the cereal, though. They came in a little plastic package.
Right.
Oh, that's true. I guess it's not the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, in cereal or Cracker Jack too, it's not such a case of, well, what if somebody just bites into this ball of chocolate and all these toys fall into their mouth?
Yeah.
That sounds like great fun.
It does.
I'm alarmed that you're charged with the care of a child, Diecast.
If anyone from social services is listening, just...
Okay, so I guess the elephant in the room is all of this Transformers releases that Hasbro did last week, which we alluded to during last week's RFC, but couldn't talk to. I'm not going to go into great detail because we covered that pretty thoroughly in the RFC Extra, which posted on Friday of last week. If you want to know all of this stuff in intimate detail, go to tfradio.net and look for RFC Extra. I think it's episode 20. And we have all that information there. But a couple things we didn't talk about. Hasbro Pulse posted packaging art for the Titans Return Powermaster Optimus Prime. And there is a coloration of, I'm assuming it's going to be Haikyuu. Did we have the name specifically? Did we know that was it named Haikyuu?
Apex.
Apex. Okay, Apex. Well, it's going to be it's Apex, but the art is colored as Jinrai, which is the interesting thing.
Yeah.
So, of course, if you should know, but if you don't, sorry, I said that. I shouldn't have said you should know. Don would know. Is probably a better way of putting it. That Jinrai, of course, is the Power Master character from Master Force. He is the normal mode and the dude who embodies the form of Optimus Prime. And, of course, the Power Master Optimus Prime version is Super Jinrai, and then the combined form with God Bomber is God Jinrai. But the little Jinrai coloration of Apex is shown in the packaging art, or the potential art, which looks really cool, and I would rather have Jinrai, honestly.
I'm more inclined to think that the thing they actually showed during the presentation is probably the accurate coloring.
Yeah. I just like Jinrai because he's a jerk.
Well, then you can buy the Legends version and have it.
Good point. Yeah. Good point. Didn't even think about that.
That's what I'm here for.
Well, and then you can get the Southeast Asian English version where, it's a dude named Optimus Prime.
What's your name? Optimus Prime. I'm Japanese. I love the dub so much.
I hate the dub so much.
Don, we're nothing alike. That's. I hate that. We should be more in tune, but we're not. The dub makes Master Force watchable. Okay.
Master Force is the best of the four. Well,
Master
three.
Master Force is fun to watch without the dub.
If I were into drugs or something, I would probably love Master Force.
And White Castle.
I do like White Castle. But again, everyone back in the day used to talk about how great Victory was. Nah.
Oh no,
Victory kind of sucks.
I like Victory, but it's very. It doesn't have near the excitement.
It doesn't have the character.
Yeah.
It's very stodgy. It's boring.
Well, Star Saber is a little too perfect.
Kind of hate it.
Read IDW.
Yeah.
well, I'm afraid to now with what's going on in Sins of the Wrecker. From what I've heard, one of my favorite characters may not be around for a while, for much longer. Apparently.
So, one, it's sad that that's one of your favorite characters. Two, that's not a reason not to read it. Okay.
Well, but like I said, I want that person to go on to bigger and better things, like being the headmaster of Fortress Maximus.
Okay, so G2 Bruticus was also unveiled. I guess no surprise because we have G2 versions of Minosaur and Superion on the way.
Just where's Defensor?
Yeah, one, where's Defensor? By goodness, and two, we did get a G2 Bruticus a few years back in a glorious, beautiful box set. And I don't suppose we're going to get such a nice box set with this, but we will get a box set. No, but I
think what I'm going to do is when this comes out, I'm going to take the Bruticus out of the packaging it comes in and put it in the Fall of Cybertron G2 package.
I don't think it'll fit.
Oh, well, it might take a little doing, but it's not like one Bruticus is taller than the other by much.
Yeah, I wish they would just do the G2 packaging for all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great. I mean,
it would
don't
be.
get me wrong.
Now, what should be noted here, though, is that we're getting the G2 colors with the Quickslinger repaint, which means if we do get a G2 Defensor, we're getting Rook.
I don't have a problem with getting G2 Rook, though, because that would be largely safety orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope if a third party catches on with them using that Quickslinger mold for both versions of Blastoff that we get. I mean, because I think you pointed it out, Chris, in your review during the BotCon Awareness Week. The Fireflight head is a lot closer to Blastoff's regular look.
Between the two options, yes.
Yeah, and it's like, I really don't like that Quickslinger head on my Blastoff. It just does not look right.
I think with the Quickslinger thing, it was either get the Blastoff visor or the Blastoff faceplate, and they just made a choice.
The wrong choice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I agree there.
One thing I want to point out, G2 Bruticus comes with G2 Shockwave, which is based on the Action Master Shockwave deco. So, pretty cool.
Okay with this too.
Yeah. It would be nice if he were like lime green or something, but I'll take this.
Well, hopefully he'll be plenty available, and you won't have fist fights breaking out to get him.
Yeah. And the other big reveal, at least as far as Titan's Return is concerned, is again Powermaster Optimus Prime. We alluded to it, but he is pretty cool looking. It is a heavy retool of Ultra Magnus.
And like is the case with Swindle, I mean, there's so much different on it. I don't even know if calling it a retool is really appropriate anymore.
Yeah, it's more like shared engineering.
So even though we didn't see, we don't have anything other than a mock-up or art of Fortress Maximus, we did not get clarification either way whether or not that is a heavy retool of Metroplex or not. I could see it being a heavy retool like Optimus Prime is, but there's definitely not a light touch to it.
Right. No, I mean, like in the line art that we saw on the banners at BotCon, there's shared elements that you can identify. In the mock-up, there was other. I think I mentioned this on the extra last week. Like the ramps on Metroplex's legs are on the back of the arms now. So I mean, they're doing. If that's to be believed, they're doing some really strange stuff with how they're redesigning these toys.
Yeah, I can't wait though to see an actual good photo of it or a real photo of it because I'm impressed. So Big Bad Toy Store actually had this past weekend a sale on the Encore Fort Max, which I don't have, for like $230, but I did skip out on it because we're going to get Titan's Return Fort Max, so I can live without it.
It's not going to be the same though. Although you have Brave Maximus, so it's not like you don't have representation.
Yeah. But it would be, nice. But I'll get a Fort Max from Combiner Wars. I mean, Titan's Return. Let's see here. Anything else official? Oh, Robots in Disguise. We got new Minicons and deployers unveiled. That was pretty much the big thing.
The response I'm seeing to those Minicon battle packs is actually looking pretty positive. With the Cyberverse Commander-sized figures with the armor.
Yeah, they look cool. They look nice. I mean, kids will like them.
I want
for the one wave.
Like them.
Yeah, the one wave we get because the cartoon's been canceled after season 2.
Well, yeah, but still.
Oh, it's finally been officially canceled.
Well, not canceled, but they announced that the second season has, I think, 16 episodes total.
Yeah,
and ends in a movie.
A movie, yeah.
Oh, the movie, that really pretty much is the nail.
Yep.
Yeah, well, at least it will probably go out on a decent note because Predacon's Rising was quite good, actually.
It was. It really was.
I mean, the last third season.
Don's opinion doesn't count.
Prime.
The reason for Don's opinion doesn't count. How about that?
Okay, yeah, agreed. Don's opinion usually counts, except when it comes to 3 certain things. One thing really in particular.
I'm just saying, with RID Season 2, they still have a final chance to make me a little happier and add a little more continuity connecting.
So, do we know how many years is it between Robots in Disguise and Prime?
We don't know, but I've mentioned this before, the technology is not that significantly different on Earth than what we saw in Prime.
I mean, if you go back to 1995 and compare it to 2015 at a broad brushstroke, I mean, it would be the same thing. But, I mean, that's still 20 years.
Don't you think, too, like, from Season 3 to Headmasters to Master Force, technology went backwards.
Yeah. So
that's not always the best thing to judge by.
I'm sorry, I have a cat laying on my keyboard, and I'm trying to figure out why he's doing that.
He's a cat.
What are you looking at?
So this is a Don, mute your microphone, because this is a perfect time to thank our friends at Amazon. The holidays are coming up. If you celebrate any kind of holiday that gives gifts around the winter solstice, take heart in knowing that Amazon is here to, I'm just making this up as I go, to help you support the Transformers loving person in your life, or you. Platinum Edition Trypticon is available. Last I checked, it was $157.
I think it's gone up a little bit since then, but it's still like in the 160.
That was that was this afternoon. So,
okay.
TFRD.net/Trypticon. Combiner Wars Devastator had dropped to 109. It's gone back up to like 150. TFRadio.net/Devastator. And again, Transformers Devastation has dropped down to $30 as of this recording. And you can get that on the 4 consoles it was available for. Apparently, you can only get it for that price as an Amazon Prime member for PS4. But again, $30. And that's at TFRadio.net/TFGame. And of course, you can get anything else by going to TFRadio.net/Amazon and just buying whatever you would normally get. It doesn't cost you a penny more, but it helps us out. For
instance, you could buy Don an extra keyboard to use as a cat bed.
Great idea.
No, he would still lay on the one that I'm using.
But then you still have a spare, see?
True. Very true. So yeah, that would help us out, and it helps us keep the show going. So thank you very much. Would appreciate that.
Because it's your purchases that help me sound this awesome.
And
this is true.
I still need to get Chris a microphone, which hopefully I'll have that ordered in the next couple weeks. Okay. Let's see here. Third-party news. I don't know. I've lost track of all of these third-party combiners, but we have new photos of Maketoys, not Blades, MTCM4E Katana, and it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But which combiner is this from, or is there a combiner? This is
Guardia, I think.
Prometheus or
Prometheus? I thought was the repainted.
I can't remember which is which.
No,
Giant, wasn't it?
No, TFC was Prometheus. This is Guardia.
I think Maketoys is Guardia.
Yeah.
So I thought Guardia would have been out by now. So it's not. But this is really nice looking. John and I were talking. I think Maketoys is pretty darn good when it comes to. Actually, I think Maketoys is pretty good. I think he's an MMC guy, but I think Maketoys, MMC, and Fans Project are the guys pretty much rocking all of this.
And Fans Toys.
And Fans Toys. If you want to spend like $300 on, I'm kidding.
On your Dinobots.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean their smaller stuff, like their Hot Rod, is probably going to be
$150.
No.
I thought it was going to be like $150.
Nah.
No, we don't have any information yet on the Hot Rod other than just it exists and there's that render from last week.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We don't have any information except that there's that render. It doesn't actually exist yet.
But it probably will eventually. It may take years, but we'll probably get it.
Yeah. It may take a couple years, but we'll get it.
So that looks pretty cool. Let's see here. MMC's reformatted Anarchus.
Anarchus?
And Anarchus, yeah. Unofficial Kaon. Looks really nice.
Yeah.
I like that they went in the direction with this. It's an electric chair that also turns into a scorpion.
Yeah.
Because why not?
And these are characters that, you know, we were never going to get, like, official toys of, most likely. And the designs really aren't conducive to, like, official toys, really. And, you know, they're doing a great job, like, realizing these in toy form.
You mean Hasbro's never going to make a Transformer that turns into an electric chair?
I know, right?
I don't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah, I see this character, and the first name that popped in my head was, like, Scorponok. Or something along those lines.
I saw the robot mode once, and the first thing that popped in my head was, I think, Airman from one of the Mega Man games.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Turbine on the chest.
That's what that reminded me of. I couldn't remember what robot I was thinking that reminded me of. I wasn't even thinking Mega Man.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, early Tokusatsu.
They're very cool.
I mean, that's probably not the only robot out there that has a big turbine in the chest, but that's where my mind went.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. What else we got going on this week in the news? Iron Factory prototype photos reveal new Legends scale figures. Iron Factory is making some really cool stuff. Mm-hmm. And let's see here. What do we have going on? This photo here. That's all their stuff, isn't it? Actually. Okay, some of this. Loading. I guess that's supposed to be RC.
Okay, so they're doing a legend-sized version of Azalea.
Oh, here's a Legends-sized Blitzwing.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know what they've already released and what they haven't.
I don't think any of the stuff in these photos is stuff that's come out yet.
So Prowl's Blue Streak and Smokescreen, as well as, let's see here.
Well, we saw the Dinobots at TFCon.
Yeah.
Right, as great prototypes.
Or with an Optimus Prime, I guess.
I think.
I guess that's what that's supposed to be.
And somewhere in there's also a Deadlock. Like, specifically Deadlock, not Drift. Oh, and they're doing a Generation-style Black Shadow, which I thought was kind of odd.
That is Black Shadow, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That is incredibly weird. It is based on the Generations toy. That is.
Yes, It is.
Yeah. And is this? Let me get the last two here. Azalea is let's see here. What's this one? I don't recognize it.
Well, I can't see it, Kilby, so I can't answer your question.
Just pasted it. Which?
Oh, let's see. Give me a sec.
That's Deadlock.
Oh, that's Deadlock. Okay.
Which, much like the Black Shadow, probably has a, more drift-focused retool in the planning.
I'm like looking at this. I'm like, is this something from Road Caesar? I'm like, what the heck is this? I just don't want to sound stupid. Like what?
Yeah. That would be kind of cool. A 3-pack that forms Road Caesar. That would be kind of nice.
Yeah, like I'm like looking at this. Like, I just can't place this. So that's certainly something.
I think Iron Factory has really found their niche in these smaller legend-sized figures because a lot of them look really good.
And they're at a very comfortable price point too, most of the time.
Yeah, they're like $20 each for the like normal sized ones, not like the larger ones. So TFC Toys Poseidon, we have 3 of the, I'm assuming going to be 6 unofficial Seacon figures. Starting off with Big Bite, who's Overbite. We also have Sea-Wing, who's called Mentorizer. and the other, I'm assuming, is supposed to be Scalar, named Cyberjaw. That is Scalar, right? I'm not good with names for the Seacons.
I'm not down with these.
Well,
TFC, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they one of the bad ones, or one of the ones that aren't the tops?
We'll discuss that when we get to the next one, because I think Matt and I will have something to say on that one.
Okay. So, Hades, unofficial Lyokaiser.
Yeah.
This one, I'm pretty sure they had to have somebody else design these because they don't look very TFC at all.
They look nice.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You know, it's just... Matt and I have talked about this before. You know, we both have Hercules. I still like Hercules.
I love Hercules.
But they really haven't gotten past that format, that design. It's, you know, if their aerial bots had not existed and they had went right to the Defensor, I probably would have got the Defensor without a question coming off of Hercules. But with all of their issues with the aerial bot stuff, I'm just kind of worried about these Lyokaiser figures because I want another Lyokaiser because I can't play with mine. I'm afraid to touch it.
Yeah, I mean, these look surprisingly nice. Hopefully that bears out in production.
So I don't want to say this, but I'm going to. My initial thought is really who's the audience for this, because there's not a lot of U.S. fans who are going to be down with Lyokaiser when they could get like another Devastator. But with that said, Dino King from Fans Project, that set is doing really well.
Yeah.
And actually, I think you're really up the wrong tree with that anyway, because like the people this is marketing to, which is the online fandom, everybody who knows about a Lyokaiser, somewhere in the back of their head, I want one of those. But it's the unattainable.
Because even at the price they're charging per figure, it's still going to be cheaper than you getting. It's like Dino King. You know, it's going to be the cheapest way to get a representation of the character, unless you want to spend $1,500 for the gift set.
And it also speaks to a number of the online fandom that want to see something other than another Devastator or another Predaking.
Yeah, you know, and
basically
also if we
see something other than 1984 to 86.
Right. Yeah. Or other than US 84 to 86.
Right.
You know, because if their Piranacon, if their Poseidon does well, if the Hades does well, maybe we'll see, you know, a new JRX or a new Road Caesar or a new train Raiden. You know, we'll see some other stuff outside
I'd love to see someone do Raiden updated.
I would like to see Raiden. Like, again, going back to something I said a little while ago, I don't really care much for Victory. I do like Zone, so, like, characters that are shared between the two, I'm cool with that. But if I'm going to get something Zone-related, I would rather just get, like, Predaking with a cape, you know. But
well, now you know.
Where are those damn upgrade sets, man? I need armor and capes for my combiners.
Yeah.
Just buy a Masterpiece Coronation Starscream upgrade set.
Oh, I have my
the official ones.
I have my stuff for Sunstorm.
Yeah, well,
still.
you know, I never got my trench coat and fedora for Masterpiece Magnus yet.
So let's see here. So thinking of lines like that have been that they're just touching on now, like Operation Combination. What is exclusive to that we could get? That would be like Guard City and Battle Gaia, right?
Right.
And the Micromaster Combiner.
Yeah, six wing and 6 turbo.
Oh, I think, yeah.
6 strain.
Well, now, you know, with Iron Factory, like I said, with them hitting their stride in those smaller figures, you know, those Micromaster Combiners might be a good thing for them. Also, unless you wanted a Raiden to be the same size as the other bigger Combiners, having a Raiden in those, like, hulky.
Oh, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't disagree I don't disagree with that, Don. But I honestly, if we get these Micromaster Combiners ever, I would assume that they would be scaled up.
No, I think I kind of like Don's idea though. Do them at the Legend size so that they're more or less accurate to the original toy size, but also they fit in a little bit differently than those originals can, and they have more of the advantage of that kind of price point and engineering balance.
And if Iron Factory does want to get into the combiner game like everybody else, that'd be a nice way to do it and differentiate yourself from everybody else at the same time.
Yeah,
because they can do Raiden and a Landcloss in those smaller sizes. That would work.
Landcross.
It's fine either way. Binotech, Binertech, all that, yada yada yada.
Oh no, but like
Manelba.
Cross is actually a word.
Manelba.
Don probably also says condole though.
Huh?
Okay, so
Kamen Rider O's jokes, Don.
Okay, so moving along. Let's see here what else we got going on. New third-party toys revealed from a Chinese event. The one that sticks out to me, because everything runs together, is DX9 Blitzwing, which looks pretty cool.
Yes.
And let's see, somebody has a Sandstorm too. Unique Toys, maybe?
I didn't even see that.
He's the only. Blitzwing is the only one that I noticed.
Blitzwing looked awesome. I'm like, yeah.
No,
this is a Sandstorm anyway.
Oh, here's that Overlord that we're supposed to get. That's not
Carnifex.
Carnifex, yeah. And there's an IDW styled Cyclonus.
Sort of IDW style. The face still isn't.
There's an Inferno down there.
Although I'm hoping if that really is as IDW style as it looks, there's like an option face for the comic accurate.
When did Cyclonus go to the Edo period? Because that looks very strange for Cyclonus.
Which just proves Don has not been reading the comics in at least 3 years.
Well, I mentioned what will get me back in the comics, but they,
Don, I gave you every single one of the comics.
I know.
You haven't claimed it yet. I'm thinking about taking it back and giving it to a needy child.
No, I'm going to. I just forgot it was there, to be honest.
I responded via email, Don, have you downloaded these yet? Okay, so just picking. I did give Don, like back when we had the Humble Bundle, I got a second one that I thought I would use for like a prize. I'm like, I don't really want to give that away as a prize because that seems a little shady. So I'm like, I'll just give it to Don.
And I just never used my Google Mail, and I just forgot it was there. But
I'll forward it to your other account then.
Yeah.
Which I mean, also just proves how old Don is that he calls it Google Mail and not Gmail.
Yeah,
it's always been called Gmail. It was never called Google Mail.
I got that Google Mail thing.
Okay, so here is that DX9 Blitzwing. He's nice.
He's beautiful.
He's nice.
And in no correlation, my generation's Blitzwing is up for sale on eBay. Absolutely no correlation at all.
Yeah, I can see that. Not a great toy.
But I am keeping the double dealer version because I like those colors on that mold.
I would have got double dealer if I could have found one of those $10 ones that was around for a little while.
I don't remember if I got double dealer or not. I honestly have no idea what I have anymore.
That's a pretty good deal.
I will say that Hulky turned out pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
That legend size Devastator.
Not interested.
It's okay. I was interested until I realized the price. And then I was no longer interested.
And again, the price is perfectly in line with what this stuff is selling for. It's just that you're looking at a set of 6. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so on the network this week, RFC Extra, new Hasbro reveals. We talked about that before. If you want to go into detail about all of the new Hasbro stuff, go to that. Download it. It's awesome. Rob Clay hosted. Being Awesome with Rob Springer. Rob goes into Q&A, and he talks about all the week's news, including that bit of stuff from Hasbro. Superhero Time, episode 257. I'm just going to read the title because I don't get it. Tight black leather spandex.
Listen to the episode. Not you, but in general.
And get the skinny. John and I talk about Colossal Big 100 bars and Thanksgiving eating strategies.
What's a Colossal Big 100 bar?
Have you ever had? I guess not. So it's a meal replacement bar that is. It's about 400 calories, 30-ish grams of protein. And I mean, it's a meal replacement bar. Definitely not a snack
calories. Bar. That's barely a snack.
Yeah. Okay, so Chris, you're Rob this week. So tell us what else is on TFormers.
Well, all through the last 7 days, we've been doing Combaticon Awareness Week at TFormers. Rob's been writing great Combaticon history articles, basically covering everything we could think of from the originals, G2, even reuses of Battle Guy and Ruination. So there's a lot of articles about that up, and then I did reviews of the 4 deluxes, which you can also find. There's I think it's still linked from the front page as of the recording. There's the Combaticon Awareness Week banner up at the top. You can go to the page and just get all of that all together. But I mean, like, huge props to Rob. He did a great job on his half of it. We also have reviews of the comics. We already talked about Sins of the Wreckers being there. I did a review of More Than Meets the Eye 47, which will just make you angry inside. And that's about it. It's a lot of content. We just, cover it very quickly.
I need to catch up since we haven't done an episode of that Fanboy versus Transformers comic. I haven't read a Transformers comic since, and I hate myself. So I need to go back and catch up.
Go start reading the Transformers again. X-Rid.
I haven't read an episode of. I haven't read an issue of that since issue 11. I got to catch up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just a couple issues behind.
You've got some ups and downs ahead of you.
Yeah.
Actually, I should say you've got some downs and ups ahead of you because it basically goes in that order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I skipped Dark Cybertron to catch up. So
that's fine.
Go ahead, Don.
I was gonna say, Chris, I watched your review for Swindle. I couldn't quite tell how do you feel about him, because you really weren't clear in the review.
It's okay. It'll pass.
He looks good. It's just I canceled my pre-order. Just I'm hoping to get a few of those glitches fixed for other releases.
I
mean, all I would suggest to you, Don, is when this wave starts hitting stores, just go pick yourself up a Swindle.
Yeah,
mine's sitting in my pile of loot. Once I get the Voyager figures in, I will have it shipped.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest. Now that we know we're getting the G2 version, if I'm going to double dip, I'd rather double dip on Unite Warriors, hoping they would get a shuttle mode blast off and the G2 version.
Well, and also just hope some of the tolerance issues are fixed too with the team in general.
Yeah,
Swindle escaped all the tolerance problems. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
But everybody else really needs another pass.
Massey is about to attack.
What's wrong, Massey? Huh? No, your window's down. It's too cold outside.
But yeah, Rob and I had a ton of fun doing the Combaticon week. So I'm just going to say again, go to TFormers. The feature is also linked from our Combiner Wars / Generations category on TFormers. So, if you go up in the top menu bar and hit the Combiner Wars link, you can get it from there too. But, go check all that stuff out. It was a blast to do that.
Cool. Okay, so we haven't done this in a while. So follow me on Twitter at bkilby. Matt is not on social media.
Don't follow me at all.
Yes. Yeah. Don is at
HMRC 4 EVR.
Chris.
So you can find Rob Clay at RAC2750 and also follow him at Flail-Throughs for video game content.
And Diecast. Sorry, Matt's already not on. Sorry.
Wait, Chris didn't do his.
He's not going to.
I'm on
Twitter.
And
somehow people still find me anyway.
Yeah, well, they find one of us and then they find you, and
you can follow John DeLuna at that John D.
And I am at Diecast2, and if you'd like to subscribe to my reviews, I'm at tfradio.net/reviews.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for being here. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you, and we will see you next week. Have a good one.
Take care, everybody. Have a great holiday.
Later.